Hello, Steve White, Steve White's 89, episode 7 of And Just Like That, Sex and the Widow. I was really excited for this episode because, time flies and all of a sudden there was a new episode. Just seems like the other day I was watching the last episode and I'm really enjoying the series. And I know some people aren't, but I am, so I'm just going to enjoy it and not let them get me down. This was an interesting episode. A few things that I was wondering if they were going to happen in the series happened, because we've only got 3 episodes left. There's only 10 episodes, so I wasn't sure exactly what they were going to cover in this. Now, I loved the way the episode started off. It had Carrie sitting at her, at her window in her original apartment, writing a novel. Basically, they showed the seasons changing. It reminded me of the first Sex and the City movie, the way we sort of went for a whole year of seasons with that. And she goes to a publisher, and her publisher is, I love it. It's tragic. I cried. There's tears on the pages. But your regular readership, they need something. We need some hope. We need like a glimmer of hope at the end. Can you write an epilogue? Can you go on a date or do something just to give them some bit of hope? And I thought, that's manageable. She can basically just suggest that there's hope, that this is not the end. So she agreed to do that. Now, I guess I'll get back to that actually. Now, Miranda, she is out and about, or trying to be out and about with Steve, but he's lost. She bumps into Naya and her gorgeous boyfriend. I loved his jacket too. They look like a young couple in love, and Steve and Miranda just look awful. And Miranda she talks to Carrie about her dead sex life, and she actually tries to get something going with Steve, just randomly. And it doesn't work. It's not working for her. She tries to kind of get something started, and then she tries to sort of emulate the scenario that she had with Che, and it's just empty. And they don't finish off. It doesn't follow through. It doesn't work. And then she tells Carrie it's dead. It was like The Walking Dead. It was like 2 dead people trying to, So she's upset because Che didn't get back to her. It's been 3 months, so that's how long. So she spent 3 months writing the novel. So it's not a whole year. It's just 3 months. She's feeling stupid, like basically I hooked up with this girl and she treated me like a guy would, basically. She basically just got what she wanted and then forgot about me. So she's sort of feeling like, well, maybe that's never going to happen. Maybe I just need to try with my husband again. So that's how that scenario happened. But that's not how it ends. She eventually meets up with Che. Now, Charlotte and Harry are having a moment, which is weird because they've been going really well so far. But Charlotte was playing tennis and Harry wanted to be included, so they did a couples match with, I forgot the name of the couple. And in trying to win, she knocked Harry over and didn't apologise. And he's like, can I get an apology? She's like, no. And she's really being stubborn about it. And she's like, women apologise for everything all day. I'm not having to apologise in tennis. And he's like, you're hurting my feelings. And it's just a really weird situation. But then again, it's such a small fight in a way. I'm kind of glad this is the only drama that couple have, because that's the only couple that has survived this whole period of time and everything. So I'm hoping this doesn't lead to anything bigger. But they do fight and they look bad in front of the other couple. But then the other couple ends up fighting at a charity auction, which sort of balances that out. And I guess that's where we're leading up to now. Before this charity auction, Carrie does go out on a date with a guy. She finds a teacher who's a widower. They meet up. They both talk about their deceased partners. His wife died of ovarian cancer. Of course, Big died of a heart attack. They order some drinks. They leave the bar laughing a few hours later, but he throws up and then she throws up, and it's a date she does not speak well of. And she's like, I got no hope for my readers. My book's cancelled. And the book is basically being fast-tracked to go on sale before Christmas, and Oprah's talking about it, having it in a book club and so forth. So there is a great pressure for her to get this book out and to get this epilogue written. And she can't just write something fictional because she writes about her life, so she has to have an experience. So she ends up at this charity auction, and everything's happening at this charity auction. The guy she was on the date shows up. She had the date with shows up. Shay shows up to entertain. Miranda goes straight for her, or them, and she says hello, doesn't get a big response, and then she goes to get an Uber. And then Shay comes over and basically is like, why you been weird? And she's like, no reason. It's all good. And she's like, look, just ask for what you want. She's like, you didn't answer me. It's 3 months, you never replied. She said, I didn't get it. I didn't get the message. I would have replied. You should have messaged again, ask for what you want. That's sexy. And she said, I didn't know I could do that. I don't know what I'm doing. And she's like, what I want to do is take you somewhere and get you naked, basically. So they go and they have another great sexual experience, which Miranda is kind of rocks her world, and she actually says, I think I'm falling in love with you. She's like, no, you're falling in love with you, with me, because you love who this person is, basically, this person that's awakened. But it would have been nicer if she had told Steve. The humiliation Steve is going to feel later when he realises that she's been having an affair, and that attempt at sex was an attempt to recapture the sex that she had with Jay. She's digging that hole deeper, and I wish she would just tell him and just end the relationship and move on instead of sort of experimenting in the relationship. Everyone is judging her for that, and I'm kind of judging her too a little bit, but not as much as some people who I think are just hating on it because, there are some haters out there who don't like diversity and so forth, so that's their angle. But yes, so Carrie sees the guy that she went on the date with, and she's like, oh God, hide me, Anthony, because Anthony's there telling her horrible and trying to out horrible date her when he defecated himself on a date when he was a boy, but she still wins because her husband died. And as he said, you get one more of those, because she says it like 3 times. So he tries to make sure he's out of the space so she can leave, but it doesn't work because she gets roped into standing on stage when they're auctioning off a date with her, which is supposed to be a lunch date, and no one's buying, partly because everyone's married, so none of the men can bid. And even though she's on stage and she looks amazing, I loved her outfit. She had the pink shoes with the white outfit with the black. And I'm like, I don't often notice her outfits, but when she came in after all this to her apartment, I thought, that's nice. One of my gayest moments. But yeah, so, God, Charlotte bids, of course, $700 or something. And then she bids $800 because she's losing her mind because she put her in that situation in the first place. And Carrie's not happy. Then I think he was the doctor, no, he was the teacher. The teacher comes in and he bids, actually Carrie bids $1,000 on herself to get her over and done with. Then he bids $1,050. So he saves her and she thanks him, and then they basically decide to go on a second date because neither one of them, I guess, had a good memory of the date, had any memory of the date from what it sounds. And it's nicer it ends this way, that instead of having one bad date and then never seeing each other again, they're having a second date, which should go better. So that was her glimmer of hope. So she got a glimmer of hope. She said, and just like that, I found a glimmer of hope. So I'm glad it ended that way. I'm glad that he gets a second chance. Even if it's just a pleasant date, it goes nowhere. It is a glimmer of hope. It is something positive. And the idea of Carrie dating again, looking for someone else, finding someone else, being a writer, being an artist, being an independent woman, and still being able to pursue love and not giving up on it and not feeling like she had it and she'd lost it and that was it. I like that message, and I was wondering where the series was going to go, where the episode was going to go, and I'm glad it's sort of going in this direction. She's got 3 more episodes. Now I'm wondering where that's going to go. I'm guessing Miranda will break up with Steve. They can get that done in a few episodes. And that's it. I can't imagine Charlotte's problems are going to go any further because we need to have one couple survive all this, even if it's only one. So I'm going to go. I really enjoyed the episode. I'm glad I have my girls back. I really hope they do a second season. I've heard they've removed some shots, a scene with Chris Noth and Carrie that apparently they filmed in Paris that was supposed to be some sort of epilogue. So the series, maybe she really finally puts him to bed and moves on, or I don't know how the series is going to end now, but I want there to be a second season. If the whole series is just her losing the love of her life and then dealing with how to live after that, and she gets to that point at the end and then that's where the series ends, I can live with that. But I'd really like a second season. I like my girls back. I want more of them. But yeah, I can't think of anything else that happened in the episode. I think I've covered it all. It was nice seeing her back in her apartment as well, I have to say. And that opening scene with the seasons changing, I know it was only 3 months. I thought it was a whole year. I thought they'd just skipped a year because you do need time to grieve and move through these sort of things. So if they were going to get to the point where she could date again and move on, they would have to do a considerable amount of time travel to get that happening. But that's where we're at, and we're going to see where that's going to go in 3 episodes and hopefully another season. I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Thanks. Bye.